how I helped one of my students make over $10,000 first 60 days as a business loan broker, and how I can help you do the same. So pay attention. I'm gonna go real quick on this specific video. And yes, you heard that topic right. One of my students made over $10,000 first 60 days as far as being a business loan broker. Now, is this normal? Absolutely not. I've had students that have come into my course and they're not hungry enough. One of the things that I always say, what makes me different than my competitors out there? What I offer is, I always say passion plus execution equals results. Passion plus execution equals success. I always say that I offer clarity and systems in order for you to be successful as a business loan broker. Ooh, shit, mic drop. Mic drop. That's what I offer in the industry, is clarity plus solutions plus systems in order for you to be successful here as a business loan broker. And I want to be clear on that. This is not one of those courses that you take out there. I'm not coming over here with my fancy fake jewelry, some Moissanite diamonds, with the Lamborghini in the back, telling you about how you can be a business loan broker and you're gonna be in the beach somewhere drinking pina colada and not have to. None of that stuff is real. Okay, I'm gonna just put it out there. Do I take vacations? Absolutely. Take plenty of vacations. Okay, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that out there. Do I have time off? Sometimes, yes. But majority of the time, in order for me to do what I'm doing, I'm busting my ass off. That's what I'm doing every single day, assessing clients' file. In order for you to be actively making money as a business loan broker, you need to be constantly promoting your business. You need to be constantly reviewing bank statements, credit reports, evaluating real estate transactions. That's basically what you're doing. It's an 8, 10, sometimes 12-hour day being a business loan broker. I like to set the right expectations here. I hope you you probably expect to jump on this video thinking that, hey, pay me, my little course fee, and then boom, you're gonna go out there and you're gonna buy a Lamborghini. You're gonna be wearing a bunch of these fake jewelry that these influencers are putting on, and you're gonna post an ad on your Facebook and just go. None of that stuff is real. I'm gonna tell you exactly the step-by-step on how I was able to help this student. And one of the key differences, other than my amazing training, and my amazing charisma, and also my handsome, none of that matters. This student was hungry. They were thirsty for a change. I'm gonna do another review for with this specific student, but a little background story, and they're gonna share their own story. But this gentleman had just got out of doing some fair time. He had a legitimate business selling marijuana whenever marijuana was being legalized. He was living in a state where the state level marijuana was legal, but on the federal level it was illegal. And believe it or not, there was people that are actually they were being arrested for having a legal business, paying taxes. It's really crazy when you have all these marijuana businesses. I remember a couple of years ago, I was working with a client in Humboldt County, California. And they're having a marijuana business. At this time, no banks could even accept them. So it was a strictly cash business, which is very risky for a business to be 100% cash. I mean, you're opening yourself for, robbers. And come on, you're attracting a lot of attention that you shouldn't be attracting, especially if you're doing all cash business. But he told me that the IRS was still sending him instructions on how to file their taxes. The IRS don't care if you make money illegally or legally. They want you to file your taxes, okay? So, which was just really funny. How can y'all take tax money from this so-called illegal business that you say that I'm running, but you still want my tax dollars? That's just really strange. But anyway, it's another story. This gentleman did some hard time. I'm gonna have him come over here again and actually share his story. And then he reached out to me. This was towards the end of last year, and he just told me, Brian, this is my situation. I don't have that much money, but I like your stuff. You seem very honest, very sincere, and I'm gonna go ahead and do this. He paid me his money, and I said, hey, I'm gonna give you a really huge discount as long as you promise me that you're gonna come back on here and get on camera and really share your experience. As long as you're really gonna get into this and actually do it, because I need to have a success story. He's actually already made a video for me. They saw my channel, but he's probably gonna do another video. We're gonna reconnect together again. Really, really successful client of mine. But what he did was he was ready to jump on a new venture, and he was hungry. There's a book by Damon John, founder of Fubu, where he talks about the power of broke, I believe is the name of the book. But this is true, the power of broke. What is this, by Damon John? Yep, The Power of Broke. Really great book. You know, he's not the best writer, I'm gonna be honest, but it's a really good book. It's a great message that Damon John talked about. But that's how I can kind of describe this individual. You know, so you have to be somebody. If you're somebody out there that were ready to get started, or even curious as to how much money you can potentially make, look how this person was able to get over $60,000 just the first 60 days, and now they're making consistent $5,000 to $10,000 a month. And now it's just, you know, the sky's the ceiling, as I always say. Okay. So let's talk about what is a business loan broker. A business loan broker is somebody that connects a business owner with the lender. That's basically what a business owner does. You try to match the business owner as far as their credit, timing, business, type of industry, funding needs. See, I've been working too much. That's what you get as a business loan broker. Real business loan broker, yawn. Little business loan broker is out at the beach somewhere with some pina colada with some naked women. Okay, that's after the fact. But real business loan brokers connect business owners with lenders that's going to help them acquire capital. That's basically what they do. And in short, we try to get them the best loan product for their specific needs. Now, how do we get paid? We get paid a commission, which is generally called a success fee. It's usually paid after the client gets funded. And that's one of the things that's so beautiful and amazing about these specific products. You know, sometimes I'm speaking to potential real estate brokers and they ask me, what do you have any kind of rebuttals? What if the client says no? What if they don't want to do this? And I gotta be honest with you, I personally, with my years in business, I don't get that hardly ever. I get a lot more of it when I'm trying to sell some of my courses, of course. But given the fact and how our industry is structured, we don't get paid until we perform. That's just it, point blank period. Majority of the clients that we're dealing with are people that banks told them no, and they're coming to you for you to become a hero. Just to be honest, I'm a hero. I know that you think I'm a zero on here when you see me on Facebook, especially with my subscriber numbers, and the fact that you guys don't engage in the comment section. Again, tip now, comment, say, okay, Brian, I see the video, I like you, like the video, do something, god dang, okay? But I'm not a zero, I am a hero to a lot of business owners out there that I've helped them secure funding. But I'm really good at sales. But this has been some of the easiest sales that I've had to do, is being a business loan broker. Because it's really simple. You know, I make this joke that if you ran an emergency room, would you have to sell your services? If people are coming in there with their hand bleeding or their shoulder broken or whatever it is, do you think that, hey, you got to convince them that you're the right person to do the job? No, they need help. They're in pain. They're freaking screaming. Ah! They need you to help them. Majority of the clients that you're going to be dealing with as working as a business loan broker, they've been told no by the bank, because you're not going to get Elon Musk. You're not going to get the founder of Walmart as your client. No, he owns his own bank. Okay, you're not going to get, Apple as your client. You're not going to get that. You're going to get mom and pop that has been through a divorce, or you're going to get, Aunt Sally that is just starting out, has never really done any business, is just wants to start out. You're gonna get a college student out of just college and is looking to a startup business, or a former CEO, a former corporate person that is trying to get their business started, or even right now, a lot of people that are being laid off. Hey, they're at home, they're trying to see if they can get funding so they can start a business so they don't have to go back to work. These are the people that you're gonna get. People that are not your regular bankable client. I'll just put it to you like that. And again, you guys kind of heard me spill out this statistic. Percentage, let me see. Just did a search here. Large banks tend to have about a 13.8% approval rate based on ChatGPT, which means these banks are denying over 80% of the applications that they receive. It's a bit scary. But if you're somebody like me, you can see the opportunity here. Over 80%, 85% based on the numbers that I'm looking at, 87 to be exact, 13.8%. of small business owners that filled out an application today got denied. Where are they gonna go? You're the emergency room that they walk into. Hey, fix my arm, fix my access to capital because my business needs it for me to start or even grow or even expand my current business. I need the capital. So with that said, there's not really selling that you have to do. You have to have some integrity. You have to know what the hell you're talking about, because yes, we're dealing with a trust recession. You saw that other video that I created. So you have to have a little bit of integrity. You have to know what the hell you're talking about. You have to be able to be a people person. You have to be able to answer the right questions so the client can be able to trust you. People do business, people they know and like. You have to have all these other skills, but you don't really have to sell, which is really amazing. Okay? And it goes into how we get paid. We get paid a percentage of what we get the client, depending on the product. On the credit-based side, we generally charge 10% success fee. On the revenue side, we can make as low as 6%, as high as 15%. Oh man, those MCAs are beautiful. But yes, the highest paying loans are the most highest risk loans, and they're also the most expensive loans for the borrower, because who the heck you think is paying for your commission? But if I can submit a loan, make 6 to 15%, depending on what product it is, or 10% on the credit card stacking side, or on the real estate side, you're dealing with somebody that is a real estate investor, fix and flip. He doesn't want to be waiting for the bank every single time to close a deal. He needs you to facilitate a fix and flip loan immediately. That guy's going to come to you. And if you tell him, hey, dude, I can help you, and if you know what the heck you're talking about, he's going to pay you wholesomely. And you can build a rapport with that person, repeat business. Okay? So that's basically what the commission structure is. Things you actually need to get started as a business loan broker. I love it. This is one of the most easiest business to start, because the startup cost is basically, you got a laptop, you got a phone, you're in business. If you have a laptop and if you have a phone, you're in business. Now, I generally suggest you want to get an external monitor. What you're looking at here, I have the big 49-inch widescreen curved monitor, which definitely does help with all the different documents and everything that I'm assessing all the time. So that's a little bit of investment that you have to make. But other than that, cell phone, laptop, or computer, and you're in business. You'll also need a really good training, because one of the things that I'm so sick of is uneducated business loan brokers thinking that they're business loan brokers because they just take that title of business loan broker. You have to know what you're talking about. At a minimum, please grab my free book. What the heck is my book? I have my book somewhere around here. Grab my free book. It's free. 3 Paths of Lending. Understand the different products. At a minimum, invest in my $37 course, The Wealthy Middleman, where I talk to you about the 3 Paths of Lending expanded version, where I dive into what the lenders are looking for. I help you how do we determine what the client qualifies for? Because it's not enough to understand the products. I was talking to somebody the other day. We had a great Zoom with this potential student, and he came back again. He said, hey, I've looked at your videos and you offer a lot of value, and I've watched other people, and I think I'm gonna just do this myself. And I just sat there and I made a little comment to him. I said, hey, they also say being your attorneys, you can represent yourself in court, but it's probably not the smartest thing to do. He laughed and he said, hey, I've actually done that before. And I have too. If you've watched my video, I don't have it on there anymore on my YouTube channel, but I have represented myself in court and won big time. But was it the smartest thing to do? Probably not. Every situation is different. My situation required it for me to change what I needed to change. But the training is by far the most important thing. Not just product knowledge training, but training on how to pre-qualify borrowers is huge. You have to understand how to pre-qualify borrowers for all the different lending products that that are available in the marketplace in-house. I'm gonna repeat that. You have to learn how to pre-qualify borrowers with all the different lending products in the marketplace in-house. Why? Because you need to be knowledgeable. You need to know what the heck you're talking about. Why? Because you're going to be shopping around, acting like a used car salesman, sending your client to a bunch of different lenders and lowering their score while adding up a bunch of inquiries because you didn't know that they didn't qualify for that specific product. That's why. How are you going to do that if you don't understand the knowledge and the matrix on how to pre-qualify your borrower if you've ever done this before? Well, it's like learning how to ride a bike. You're going to fall and you're going to bruise yourself and you're going to get up and you keep going again. You're going to fall, you're going to bruise yourself. But if you have a coach that can walk you through, that can provide you some proprietary tools on how to evaluate the client's files and determine exactly what to qualify for before you submit a single application, how much would you pay for that type of value? I don't know. I know when I started this business, the things that I'm offering in my course was priceless. Okay. One of the things that you have to have also in order for you to be successful as a business loan broker, because again, the topic of today is how one of my students made $10,000 within the first 60 days of becoming a business loan broker. I try to set all the right expectations with everybody that joins into my course. You're not gonna get in here within a week or two, boom, pina colada, look at me, fake jewelry, Lamborghini, look, Not gonna happen. Go buy the other man's course. That's not what we're doing over here. Okay, we're actually trying to build a real legitimate business is what we're trying to do over here. And that's gonna take time. Can it happen quicker than 60 days? Yeah, absolutely. I have realtors that have jumped in here and they currently already have the relationships and all they had to do is just send them an email blast. Yes, absolutely. I have gentlemen that have gone here and invested very heavy into Facebook paid ads and quickly started generating leads and were able to get their clients funded and immediately they were able to get some money. So absolutely can be done. You have to have the right mindset. You have to have the right mindset in order for you to be successful in this business. And I walk you through, coach you through developing the right mindset and developing a mindset that, this is a key thing here. You have to develop a mindset that builds trust with your clients. That's going to require you to be knowledgeable about what you're talking about. That's going to require a little bit of empathy on your part, actually listening to what the client is trying to do, instead of trying to just shove a specific product down their throat so that you can make a quick commission. That's not what we do around here. Now that I've shared with you a few key things that makes us different and what you need to do in order for you to be successful as one of my students have been, 10 grand within the first 60 days. This is with zero spending on ads. This is utilizing some of my cold email marketing tactics that I teach my students in my course. So yes, absolutely, you can generate a lot of leads using ads. But most people don't have $50, $100 a day to dump into Facebook. They just don't. So what do those people do? Most people don't have they're not as handsome as I am. They're not gonna get in here and get suited and booted and talk to y'all on camera and not get any likes and still continue doing it. I appreciate y'all to be liking my videos, I really do. Most people don't wanna get on camera. It's not for everybody. Most people wanna be behind their computer, but they also still wanna offer some of the services that we offer. So that's what I do. I teach you how to understand the products. I provide you with the knowledge on how to pre-qualify the borrowers. I have the best lenders in the marketplace. I have the best systems in place for you to pre-qualify, evaluate, prepare the client for processing, process the applications, all the way through. So if you're interested in starting out and becoming a business loan broker, if you're interested in being my next successful students, I'd really appreciate it for you to schedule a time. There's going to be a link below. We're going to get on a call. It's going to be a Zoom call. Make sure you get suited and booted. Make sure you look like money if you want to sell money. I'm going to end with that. Make sure you look like money if you want to sell money. Okay? I appreciate your time for today, and I'll talk to you guys soon.